Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Boy, you made it here.
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
We are excited to announce this season, Chief Concerns is teaming up with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, to bring even more excitement to Chiefs football. Whether you're backing Mahomes to have over 4,500 passing yards, riding the over on Kelsey's 4.5 touchdowns, or picking weekly same-game parlays, FanDuel has you covered with easy-to-use features, fast payouts, and tons of ways to win. So download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. And don't forget to tune into our weekly Chiefs same-game parlay show every week during the regular season. Finding the right person for your team can be just like the NFL draft. You've got a huge board of prospects, but only a few are the perfect fit for your roster. Sometimes you're sifting through a lot of tape before you find that Mahomes-level candidate. But with ZipRecruiter, it's like having the best scouting department in the league. They find amazing candidates for you fast. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Here's why it works. The moment you post your job, ZipRecruiter's smart technology starts showing your role to qualified people, your first rounders. No waiting around for the right player to fall to you. And when you see someone you like, you can send them ZipRecruiter's pre-written invite to apply message. It's like handing them the playbook and saying, we want you in the lineup. So ditch the other hiring sites and let ZipRecruiter find what you're looking for, the needle in the haystack. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/audio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Let's go! So week 2 is in the books of preseason. Everybody, I'm Marcus Dash. Right there in the middle is our guy from our Chiefs tight end, Jason Dunn, and Teja Dash, my brother, on the right there. So one thing I'll say about this game being done is that we're a week closer to week 1 of the NFL season. So that's a positive.
That is the positive.
Yeah. Just so many things to take away from this game, as usual with these preseason games. And obviously, we talked about the extremes last week. There's extreme emotion from fans on the, hyping up someone or, being really down on someone. This week, it was more just kind of everyone was kind of right in the middle. I don't think anyone was getting too up or down, although there was some stuff on one certain player that was getting a little bit more flack. And then he dominates with a punt return at the end of the game to put a nice nightcap on the game. But let's kind of get after with our first topic here, guys. Last week, Kingsley Suamataia was our guy that we talked about. This week, he had 10 snaps. And kind of a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde here with his pass blocking versus run blocking. So, JD, when I was watching it, I thought about our film study session that we had, and you said one thing that you wanted to see improvement on was his bull rush. And instead of attacking the defender, he was kind of embracing the defender there. And we kind of saw that a little bit on his pass blocking tonight. And then PFF, I know we'll take PFF for what it is. But PFF, for the 10 snaps that Kingsley had tonight, he was the highest graded offensive player with an 86.8. He had the lowest graded pass block. He was the lowest graded pass blocker with a 28.4. And then he was a top graded run blocker at 89.2. So his run blocking was really good, and the pass blocking was really bad according to PFF. What did you make of week 2 of Kingsley with his 10 snaps tonight?
So what I saw from him was sometimes when you have the long drives, his feet get very heavy, gets a little lazy in his technique. And I think a lot of it just has to be in shape. I think a lot of it has to do with that. And so, if he's struggling to get his feet across for guys, and I've seen, a couple of plays where he just didn't get in front of him. He didn't strike the blow, didn't move his feet to get in front of him like he should have. and he kind of got around. The defensive, guy got around him a little bit. But he look, offensive line is built for run. These guys, man, are maulers up front, okay? And King Suma is one of those guys up front who comes in and he's a physical guy in the run game. The thing is, he's got to be able to transition from the run to the pass and be as aggressive. And so for him, I think he has to do a much better job either jumping the defensive tackle, getting his hands on him immediately before the guy gets a charge on him. That way he can go ahead and put his hands on and, reassert and refit, sink his hips down. But a lot of it was just bad technique. He just wasn't moving his feet. That was it. His feet was getting a little bit lazy, but I think a lot of it had to do with, the long drive that he had. And so I think for me, I just, when I see a lineman that's not moving their feet, it is because they may be a little bit tired. I think it's exactly why. So I would have, and I was just thinking this, I would have given him the entire first half. That's what I would have done. And I know we're going to have from here, we're going to one more week closer to it, which leaves us with 2 weeks, primarily like 3, getting to where we need to, having that other full week. But he's got to be ready. He's got to be ready. So that means having, the area that he needs, being in shape that he needs. And so that's just my opinion. Like I said, I just seen his feet kind of get a little bit lazy. That's what I saw.
Tej, any questions you have to JD about what you saw from Kingsley? Or, are you in the same crowd that wanted to see maybe Jalen Moore get some left guard snaps tonight? I don't think we even saw Jalen Moore tonight at all, actually.
I don't know if we did. Yeah, I would like to see that.
He was in there?
Yeah.
He was at right tackle? Okay.
So no left guard.
Not tackle. Yeah, guard. Yeah.
He was playing guard tonight?
No, he played tackle.
Okay.
Yeah. I would like to see him try guard, but there's got to be a reason for it, right? And they're not just, just throwing darts. Suamatai. Say it again for the people in the comment section who are like pronunciation masters of Suamatai.
I've had a hard time with it. You got a spot on there.
Thank you. Yeah, I learned from the people in the comments who wouldn't even spell it out but criticizing us for mispronouncing it, but they still say Kingsley. they won't say it. They won't spell his last name, but we gotta say it perfectly. I wasn't overreacting last week. I know JD and I had the back and forth about the overreaction you get on social media, but I wasn't trying to overreact last week, and I thought we did see improvement. We were still complaints. He's still a developing left guard, right? He was a developing left tackle, and that was his position last year. So he's a developing left guard. I think we've seen improvement week to week. I do think you bring up an interesting point, JD, and this is one of the questions I wanted to ask you before, and we can kind of tie it into this.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't we see more of him, right? He's someone who needs the extra work. It's Seattle's got a good front. They were getting after it. Why not? Because I noticed there were other guys on our team playing late in the third. Joshua Williams was playing almost into the fourth quarter. I think I saw Hicks in there late in the third, right?
Omenahu too.
Omenahu was playing. So it's guys, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe every team is different, but what is the logic of playing guys later into games and then some other guys taking them out early? What do you think the logic is to that in situations like these?
The only way I can think of this, Tej, is this is just me and my logic thinking about it is when I seen the guys that came in, second team, that played that, whether it be Hanson or Caliendo or Norzad, that was the inside guys, they was getting beat bad. And it was penetration, not moving their feet. It was zone blocking, pass blocking. It was lack of communication and communicate. Guys didn't know what each one was doing. So I think if you saying okay, let's get the guys ready behind them. At least if something does happen, who do we put in? And I'm gonna tell. I'm be honest. I'm be honest. If King Suma or part of our starting offensive line, we have a couple of guys I think that can back guys up. I think Wanye would do a good job. I think Jalen Moore would do a good job. After that, I think Caliendo, he didn't play very well tonight. And I expected him to play a lot better than what he did. There's going to be some questions there. And so are they getting enough of that in practice? Are they getting enough reps maybe against a team? And that's my logic is like, let's get the guys ready back here who actually need it. But in that regard, I'm going to make sure King Suma's doing gassers and sprints on the other side over here. I'm like, hey, you stay after practice. We're gonna work on getting your wind and stuff down. But it was I do believe, because I've seen enough of it, when I see a lineman who is not moving their feet, it is because they're winded. He's tired. It's not like he can't do it. It's just, your mind is there, but your body's not responding. And you're trying to get air. You're trying to, that whole getting ready for playing. And you're so amped up. You're so amped up that, you can gas yourself. So I would, this is just me, but I'd be like, hey man, I'm going to give you the first half. We're going to whip you into a little bit more shape than what you are doing. And I know, look, they go out there and practice, it's not the same, but what we did, we had 2 a days. 2 a days will get you into shape. They're not doing 2 a days. They're not.
Yeah.
They're doing 1 a day. And in that time, what's the other stuff that you're doing to get yourself winded? And I think that's what you have to do. You just got to get yourself into more shape. I think that's part of his issue. I really do. I think he's a very good player. I think, he shows flashes of being a starting guard. He does. He shows that. But when you have a long drive, the integrity of what he does as far as his technique is going to wane. And you can't have that in the game. You just can't. It's going to be blatantly obvious. So that's me. That's my opinion. And so, people can have other opinions about it, man. But when I sit there and I watch a guy's feet and I see him kind of like reaching out and flip for the guy, I'm like, oh, he's tired. That's what that is. Shoot. That's all.
Not a good sign either.
It's not a good sign.
You got to play a full game in a few weeks, man.
You got to play a full game, man, and that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, I would say, hey, we got to do something to get you right. I got to get you tired. I got to get you winded. I got to get you winded in practice. If we had to come out here and do a little bit more or whatever it is, then we have to do that. But I think that would be the course of action for me, at least. So, and I could be completely wrong, but I just know I've coached linemen before. I played ball for a long time. I know how it feels when you get tired. Your technique is the first thing that goes. That's the first thing that leaves is your technique. So, and then you're just trying to catch up. You're just trying to do it. And then he looked like he was trying to catch up on some of those blocks. That's what it was.
It's very weird. Yeah.
But that's why these guys, that's why they look good running the football. That's what they want to do. You want to run the daggone football. I don't want to run around and block it through, catching him and stuff like that. I want to deliver the punishment. I want to be able to take some of that pass rush out of this guy. I want to hit him in his hip. I want to hit him in his thighs. I want to hit him in his back. You know what I mean? That's what you do. You want to wear a dude out physically. And so that is, man, it's time, man. Shoot, I did plenty of pass blocking. And the block a dude just constantly running at you and you moving your feet and you staying up. That's a lot. That's a lot. So.
And Jenny, we talked about it last week, but like kind of when he's getting bull rush, he's kind of embracing the defender. Is that more of like a fatigue thing, or is that just more, that's more of his just not kind of having the instincts of being a pass blocker, really? I mean, more of a run grader type of guy when he's kind of embracing the bull rush, kind of receiving the guy instead of kind of meeting the defender.
I mean, you could say that, but I think he did enough of it in college that it really shouldn't be an issue. Now, for me, I might have to check like, okay, your weight, where's your weight at? Also, too, are you up in weight? Are you staying in shape? Are you eating the right things? Like all of that goes into it as well. And I'm telling you right now, that look, you guys can get away from you. They can. Linemen can definitely get away from you, especially certain ones that is not going to get after it. So he's a guy that you got to put your thumb on to get after it. Like, hey, man, look, you're a talented dude, but we're going to put in some extra work. So,
and let's go his left side, our guy Josh Simmons. What did you make of him tonight? I mean, he looked to me. He looked a repeat of what he did last week. He looked more of the same from him. What did you see from Josh Simmons tonight, JD?
He looked good. He got beat on the one. He got kind of pushed down. Then actually his foot got entangled with King Suma a little bit in there. And so other than that, I think he looked all right, man. I think Josh Simmons he's just ready to play. And for him, every experience that he's getting, he's just going to get better and better. Like you want him to have more experience because the more he sees, the better off he's going to be. And he's going to be able to adapt to whatever, a guy is going to give. That is key when you're blocking a guy like Max Crosby, right? Shoot. You're sitting there, you're going against the Chargers defense and all these guys, man, Bonito and all those. Shoot, we're going to see the Eagles second game of the season. I watched, the Ravens game last week. They got shoot. Mike Green is coming out there.
It's a rough opener for him for the first 4 games.
Yes, it is.
Giants have a good pass rush too. They have a good front 4.
Yes, they do.
So he's gonna get his practice in. Both those guys are gonna get their practice in real fast.
Yeah, and the good thing about that is, Teja, it's almost like we were talking. Remember a couple of years ago when I was like, man, test the DBs out right now. Test the young guys out. Why? Because they're gonna be better off later on down the road. Because they didn't see the hardest part of the guys, right? Shoot, test them early, throw them in the fire early. So I think it's going to be good for us. But I think that kind of goes to, my warranted opinion on you got to run the football. You got to do it because those guys, they love to do that. They want to run the ball. Shoot, I seen Trey Smith jumped up one time because he was able to put a dude into the turf. They get excited on that. That's what they get excited for. So,
yeah, I like you said, JD. I think it is like Josh Simmons is like he's ready to go to the opener. He's ready to go, and quite frankly, I know we want to get these guys reps. How do you feel about maybe not playing him at all next week, or maybe just playing him doing one drive again for Josh Simmons? I mean, let me ask you this question. So I've seen a lot of people online say this, that not only they want to see a little bit more of Kingsley, they want to see a little bit more of Kingsley and Josh Simmons, these guys who haven't really played together before, to get more of at least a half together. Is that something that like you kind of need to have that kind of that chemistry with your left guard, left tackle mate?
I mean, you're gonna get that in practice. You're gonna get that in meetings, in film study. You definitely got to have a quarter, maybe a quarter and a half. I think that's what you have to do. You might not want to push it just because you need it for the first game. You don't want to get him for injury, but you can't really worry about that, right? Because it's like, hey man, you're gonna be out there anyway, so you might as well get used to, doing maybe they're gonna be going in the game, man, doing 60 plays, almost 70. That's what it's gonna look like. So, get your work in now. Get your work in now.
Did you think it was weird that we didn't see Mahomes today at all, like not even for a drive? Did you think that was weird, or do you think the elements had anything to do with it?
No, man. Pat, we don't need to see Pat. We know what Pat. Pat wanted to be out there. We know Pat want to play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. So, but hey, man, he's good sitting back there, man. Just put your uniform on and glare out there in space and just watch your guys and celebrate when the guys do well, right?
Yeah. Who needs Pat when you have Drew Lock?
Huh?
Drew Lock. Well, why you say Drew Lock?
He killed it. I mean, he looked like Mahomes out there tonight.
Come on, dude.
I mean, who needs Mahomes? You got Drew Lock out there.
I don't know. Gardner Minshew
for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Gardner Minshew looked pretty damn good out there.
Yeah. I think Drew Lock was a beneficiary of our mistakes on defense, just not playing with energy.
He was still playing against some first teamers out there, though. He wasn't playing.
He was.
They weren't all third and fourth stringers. You were playing against some of our starters.
Yeah, but man, we know our starters are needed because if we don't have those and we ain't getting no pass rush and they running the daggone football, they had 165 yards rushing and 64 rushing, and they still had 5:15 left in this first half.
They had 100 more rushing yards than we had total yards.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
nuts.
It's crazy.
So let's get to that. So a lot of talk, obviously, on the being kind of dominating the run game tonight. A lot of things to pull from this game. Obviously, linebacker depth. It's one thing that I've seen kind of consistently is like, oh man, like if you didn't want the Chiefs to pay Nick Bolton, well, after what you're seeing without him out in the field, I hope that if you were on the fence about that, I hope you actually see now like why paying Nick Bolton was such a big need for us to do, because you see what our defense looks like when he's not out there. And also, too, the same people who thought the same thing about Chris Jones, when he's not out there, look what happens. And, JD, I saw that some people were saying that they don't like the new look of Omar Norman Lott, where in Tennessee he was weighing about 290, and it's reported now that he's probably – that they made him kind of beef up a little bit. He's about 305 plus right now. And that's potentially making him look a little slower than what we've seen, or the guy that we saw in college at least. Do you think that's a bit of an issue, the kind of the weight gain for him and kind of taking away kind of his, his kind of his quick step that he had in college?
I mean, if he's putting on muscle, I don't think so. I think it's just something that it's a trial on run. I don't think it's a big deal. I think if you're sitting over here and you're saying, hey, look, you beef him up right now, then of course during training camp you actually lose weight. You're gonna lose weight during the season. The more work that you do, you're gonna keep losing weight. He's gonna be fine. I think he actually did a pretty decent job tonight. He got hurt a little bit, but as far as like some of like stuffing guys and holding two guys at the point of attack, I think he did a pretty decent job. And I'm gonna give a little love to our guy too. Lovett. Lovett did a pretty decent job. He came in and he shocked me a little bit because I was sitting there waiting. I was like, oh, that's Lovett. And so we need some beefy guys up front. We do. Look, hey man, lanes is open today. The lanes are open everywhere, and it looked bad.
That was a Bowl America tonight, man.
Huh?
That was a Bowl America tonight. Bowling alley. Open lanes, baby.
Open lanes. I just and the thing is, man, it's so vital that you stop guys at the point of attack. Our defensive line has to hold up because our linebackers are not big enough to come off those blocks. They were swallowing Boss up, Christensen, Cochran. I mean, it was, man, Bossa was in there. It didn't look good. And if those guys, those big guys, guards and tackles get up to the second level, you've seen it. You've seen what that looks like. And they shoot, everybody was getting a little taste. They bring running backs from everywhere. I think they get a dude out of the stand and take a run the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, they had everybody accounted for that. I mean, Charbonnet looked like Sean Alexander. Halani looked like Ricky Waters, and then Demi Martinez looked like Marshawn Lynch. They had the entire Seahawks Hall of Fame out.
Carson Steele would have ran for 60 yards behind that line.
Yeah, man, it's brutal. With that, the type of defense scheme we have, we pride ourselves on actually stopping the run, doing a good job against that. Okay. And you got to be in lanes, and sometimes we just made mistakes. There was times that guys try to, shed guys, and you open up a lane. And we seen that when we ran the double A gap blitz, and Drew Lock takes off running for 30 yards. And I'm like, what in God's name what is this? And when you look at it and you slow it down, you look at exactly what it is. It's not lane integrity. It's not. And you got to stay with your responsibility. And so what ends up happening, Drew Lock just opened up. Bossa came free, start falling, and ran past and hit the halfback. And then I seen Cochran try to come backside. And it opened the door up. I'm like, what? You got to stay with your responsibility. That's not how it works. You can't just do your own thing. When that happens, guess what? Hey, then it compromises everybody else. And so some of those young guys that was in there for the D-line, man, it needed to see a much better showing from the dudes, man. I mean, it's just reality. That's what it is. So, I'm not talking about go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say about Norman Lott. He had 84 run snaps in college. Partly that was due to he wasn't – there's a lot of different theories about it, but he needed to bulk up. He has to. So he has to bulk up if he wants to see more run snaps in the NFL, and he's got to adjust. I mean, look, like not every guy we draft – I know we got really excited about the draft and we love the guys, but we love them not for what they're going to give us today. We love them for the potential they're to give us tomorrow and in the future, right? So, like, some of these guys are not going to be what they are going to be in 2 years from now, today. So, it's going to take time for guys to develop. He's got grown to his body. He was already raw. 84 run snaps in college. That's not a lot. So, he's going to look rough doing it, but you got to get him out there. He has to get his ass kicked. Yeah. That's the bottom line. He's got to get his ass kicked to learn what it's like to go up against these guys. And he's got to now apparently learn to do it at a weight that he's not used to. So that's just how it is. It's going to be an adjustment period. And now's the time to do it. You don't want him doing it in the third quarter of an NFL game. Get it out now, man. Like, get him out there, getting used to it.
That's right. Yeah.
So the defensive line. I know last week we thought Tillery played a pretty good game. What was you think about? Was Tillery? What was his performance from what you saw tonight?
I think he has some flashes. There was times he looked good. I think he pushed the pocket. I think he pushed the offensive lineman, but they got to play as a unit, and if you're not penetrating, the gap and pushing the lineman back, then that's an issue and that's a problem. And what ends up happening is they were playing out on line of scrimmage. We don't want to do that. If our offensive line they're pushing our guys, and we watched them wash. They were washing. They were double teaming to go to the second level, and it looked too easy. And sometimes guys were turning their bodies, and it's like you can't turn your body. You got to be stout. You got to almost stay square in some of those, okay? Especially, man, when we do the 4-3. That's just what it is. I think our defensive ends played a job. They did what they could possibly do, but they was running in between the tackles. That's what they was doing, all like on the inside. Shoot. And it wasn't anything,
It wasn't exotic.
It wasn't exotic. Yeah, it wasn't complicated.
It was just basic. It was just like
zone. It was zone.
It's going to run down your throat.
Yeah, power. How they did it, they set it up. So I love how just the scheme-wise, first thing you do is you make everybody run lateral, right? Boots and stuff like that, do that, and then all of a sudden you just get north and south.
Yeah,
okay?
It was very Kubiak-ish.
Absolutely, right. Lateral movement, and everybody start thinking, okay, I'm going lateral. I got to beat them to the spot. And now when you think about beating them to the spot, now we're just going to go run downhill, because now we got you thinking more lateral game. Your body's getting used to that, and so it just became too easy, man. I just like you said, Nick Bolton, man, God love him, but he needs to be in there for sure. It is totally different, and especially if guys don't know where to be. And sometimes I was looking at also too, like positions of the secondary where guys were. Some guys were just lost, and it takes that communication for guys to know where you need to be at. And I seen, a couple of DBs, a couple of safeties out of position. So Yeah.
Yeah. If you didn't want to pay Nick Bolton or Chris Jones before, you watch games like this, and you're like, man, okay, I'm glad we did pay those guys.
Thank God. Shit. Well, I'm sure you still here, man. I'm glad we paid you. You know, and look, I know I'm kind of being funny, but no, for real, seriously, like, oh, man. And it's tough for linebackers because they know that they rely on the guys up front to kind of make things happen. They got to be able to run free, and sometimes they just overran. Well, they got reached. I thought McDonald came in; he did a decent job. I was like, shoot, this guy right here, you know, who's hungry, shoot, hey, man, let him play a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let him play a little bit.
So move to the defensive backs, and I got some news from a very reliable source that Najee Johnson's shoulder injury, left the game early with a shoulder injury. Quote, ain't nothing crazy. It's not a crazy injury. So Najee Johnson, that's good news. I mean, he had a great game. He had a nice pass breakup, which a drive later, that's the same play that Josh Williams got scored on by Bobo. But go to the defensive backs. So a lot of injuries, man. And obviously, you know, the shoulder injury for Najee is not too serious. But so you got Fulton, who's just coming off the PUP. So we didn't see him tonight. Jalen Watson's in the protocol. Noah Williams, who was having a great game, playing physical as heck, 2 games in a row, just showing how physical he can be, tackling, just kind of being all over the place. He was left the game with the shoulder injury, and then or not a concussion protocol, and then Najee Johnson left the game with a shoulder injury. So that just leaves us McDuffie, Fulton, and then Josh Williams, who tonight Josh Williams had kind of a rough game. Again, this is a position that we talked about, JD, that very deep. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. It's very deep. We got a lot of guys in that room, but then when you got guys falling like flies, and it's like, oh boy, here we go. Same kind of issue that we had last year. We had a lot of injuries in that room. What did you make from what you saw tonight from the guys who were out there, JD, like the Noah Williams of the world? And how concerned are you when you see kind of these injuries kind of racking up and mounting up in the DB room right now?
I think it's just part of it. That's just one of the things, man, that you have to deal with. I mean, you can't necessarily, measure, what guys are going to go through injury wise. But Jalen, we know Watson's going to come back. Knowles will be back before the first game. Joshua Williams, I still have faith in Joshua Williams. I do. Bobo he made a good catch. It was a good throw. I mean, God. I mean, he did something that I was just like, man, why you turn your head? Like, play the guy, play the receiver. And so he didn't have to look back. All he had to do was just play the receiver's eyes. And yeah, he came up with late hands, but Josh Williams should have been like this immediately. He's coming right there. He was in great position. He just need to make the play. And I guarantee, just like, man, just need to make the play. There's no need to turn your head for what? The ball's going to be thrown. There's certain routes at a certain point when the wide receiver gets to where he is, that's the only ball that's going to be able to get there. So you just got to know that. You just got to know in your head, there's only certain balls that's going to be thrown when he gets that deep in the end zone. And so other than that, man, it was a great throw and a great catch. You just got to make the play. So there was one who was at the young guy, for them. He ran a slant on Noah Williams. It was wide open. And it was just a great move. So it's just, you get so used to going against your guys in practice that you got to be able to lock in like, okay, I just got to play this guy. I don't know, watch film, what he's going to be able to do and trying to get used to that, but yeah, I think, man, injuries happen. They'll be fine.
Teja, I know you had some questions about the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of asked it earlier with even with the injuries, you saw Joshua Williams in there like late in the third quarter. So, they must not be too worried about the injuries because if they were, they would probably not have him in there so late. 2, you got to wonder. I mean, he's a guy who's going to play a lot of snaps in the secondary, but he's out there late third. What does that? What do you think? What does that mean to you when you see a guy like Joshua Williams out there so late into the game?
I mean, that was just their rotation, the way I looked at it. Same thing with the offensive line. I seen their rotation. It was a little different what I expected, but I think they're just trying different things. And also, too, you got to get them where they're trying with different guys and how guys are communicating with each other. That's like Mike Edwards came out there later. Mike Edwards going to be a key guy. He was playing in the fourth.
Hicks was out there in the third.
Hicks was out there. That's what so and this is a good thing about like preseason, right? You still got to run your stuff. You have to. You still got to run your combination of guys, regardless of where it is, and say, hey, look, I need for you to play with Hicks or Mike Williams. I need for you to play with, I see Major out there. Major Williams was out there. And so if the injury bug is hitting them, let Josh get as much, let him get as many snaps as possible.
Sure.
You can be ready. Yeah. Why not? Why not? So
I'm not concerned. We have, we need to get a pass rush in front of these guys. That'll help the secondary a lot. So I'm not judging any. We're missing Fulton. We're missing obviously McDuffie, who's not playing. But I think we'll be okay. I'm not gonna start panicking on the secondary just yet. And no Williams, man. He's young and he's handsy, so he's got to adjust. I mean, that's another Norman Lott type situation. He's just gonna have to adjust to the NFL game.
Yeah. No Williams. We know this. He ran a 4.5 at the combine. Ran a 4.5.
Yeah. Okay.
He definitely plays faster. Very smart kid. Very patient, and I think it's good for him to be able to see these things because there's going to be a lot of wide receivers that got a whole lot of speed, a whole lot of quickness, and so, hey man, you ain't that Cal. This ain't what it is. Okay. This guy right here ain't taking international finance. Second right here, $35 million. That's what he's trying to do, man.
He's taking speeds. What he's taking.
He's taking all day. So he's trying to get paid. He's trying to get the top money. So
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen this. I saw a comment here. We need to sign the guy from the Broncos. Justin Simmons is a name everyone's been talking about. As far as I guess we talk about DBs and the cornerbacks, but how concerned or not concerned are you about the safety room itself? I know you mentioned Mike Edwards. Cook came in there and had a PD in the end zone tonight. Jaden Hicks coming into his second year. Chamari Connor's rotating in there. Are you guys both kind of fine with the safety room as is, or do you think we need to kind of bring a veteran presence in like a Justin Simmons?
You know what, man? I'll let them make that decision. They know better than me. So Simmons is always – you could always use a guy like that. You can. But, do they trust the guys? I think Chamari Conner is going to do a good job this year. I do. I got a lot of faith in him too. I think he's grown. I think what Spags has seen in him, he has seen the growth. He has seen that he will step up when needed and called upon. Very athletic. I think he's got a better understanding as far as like what it wants to do defensively. And so you could do that. Sure. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Not at all. So yeah. I tell you what, listen, when it gets down to the cuts, what the Chiefs going to do, they're going to evaluate everybody and look how everybody played. And they'll make a decision if, hey, maybe we need to go somewhere else with a guy. Maybe we need to bring a veteran dude in. And so I see somebody say Christian Wilkins. I mean, he'd be a beast, but I don't know where his head is at right now. You know what I mean? There's too much controversy with him going on. But if that's something that you talk to him, like, look, man, this is what this culture is when we get here. This is what's going on. Okay? You come here, go to work. Maybe this is like, to get yourself back on track. All right? And maybe he can come in with a reckoning and say, hey, okay, I got it. Everybody's, cutting me, this and that. They're saying different things about me. But like I said, man, let's go through the evaluation process. But I'll say this, okay? What I wanted to see tonight was more individual wins. That's what I wanted to see. We know combinations work. We know Nick Bolton's in there, Chris Jones is in there, Mike Pennell, all those guys, those combinations work. The thing is, I want to see a guy win on his individual thing. And that means on the inside, it means on the defensive end, it means on the linebacker. Okay? Because that's the indication also, too, how good of a player you are, right? So even if a guard comes out to me as a linebacker, I need to be able to shed and go make the play. I got to. I got to be able to dissect what's going on when the play is going away from me. Either it's coming back, when it cuts back, I got to be there. I got to be playing my responsibility. So I can't leave it on somebody else to do my job. I got to be able to play out of my cleats to make things happen. That's what you want to be able to see. See, when you start seeing individual guys start to make plays, that's when you know it's like, okay, we ready. We good. I just didn't see enough individual plays out of guys. I just didn't see that. So that's why we reiterate Chris Jones and Nick Bolton and all those guys, because we know you got now you stacked a little bit. Okay. Now you got a whole different defense. And that's the truth. But hey, if Chris Jones is not playing, who's the guy that's going to step up? Who's it going to be? I can't sit there and wait and look at Chris all the time like, hey, man, that's like Chris got on George Karlaftis. He's telling him like, hey, man, why you putting your helmet on, man? We going, everybody's going. Get 15 sacks. And he's challenging him. He's like, man, they paid you a boatload of money. I need for you to show it. Why they paid you that money? It's good to get the money and all of that, but shoot, now you got to show it. And you got to show it every time. And I don't know what the conversation, I just heard Chris going back like, man, I don't care. I don't care how many sacks you had already. Get 15. You done had 8. Get 10. Get 12. Get 15. You need to get better. That's what a leader does. And that's what guys do is you challenge yourself to win your individual battles. You have to do that. If you want to be on a team, an NFL team, a championship team, you have to challenge yourself to be better. That's what it entails. So
this feels like a Keys to Victory dungeon speech coming. I don't know.
It does. It does. It's a nice hype up.
Hey, man, look, I just, you know what, man? I tell you what.
You're going to wake everyone up, JD. Everyone's ready to go to bed.
Yeah, man, no. Hey, look, hey, y'all got me here now, so I'm going to give it to you. That's how it works for me, all right? That's how it works for me. I am who I am. I can't help it.
Got to change soon.
Yeah, I am who I am. I can't help it. And so when I'm sitting over here.
I'm going to ask you to help it.
Yeah.
So
my wife came in there. She's just like, and I'm sitting over just rewinding. And I'm doing study and I'm watching these guys. And I'm like, Dad, God, like, why? You got to be in this gap. Like, that's your responsibility. You can't sit there and you can't look, I'm getting, man, throw that guy. That's what you have to do. You got to get violent. That's what it has to be. This is a violent game played by tough individuals. And you got to show up every time. That's the truth. And so sometimes when I watch guys, and I'm not saying guys ain't trying to do that. I'm not saying guys are not trying to do it, okay? All I'm saying is when we're looking at it, I just need to see a little bit more of that effort from you. I need to see that. And I know that's what the coaches are getting on them too. Like, how come you went in the A gap when I asked you to be? Coach, I don't know. Man, I don't want to hear that, hey, coach. I don't want to hear that, okay? Be where you're supposed to be. If I tell you be in a B gap, be in a B gap. And I guarantee when they pull this film up, man, these jokers going to get all over them, okay? And it's going to be good for them. It's good for them, right? Because that's we were trying to make you better. You know, I'm not doing it to demean you. We are trying to make you better. That's what the coach is going to do. They got a standard. That's what has to happen, man. So
the thing about preseason is it's pretty vanilla across the board. So if you're getting your ass beat, it's because that guy across the side is beating your ass. It's not because they're being outcoached. You can throw that out right now. They're not being outcoached. It's all pretty vanilla. That guy just out there just outworking you. And you get beat this bad, it's because they were that much better than you on the field. It wasn't because he outcoached Andy Reid. It had nothing to do with that. They outplayed you that bad. I mean, it's just like that's what's so crazy about it. It's like, man, it's just an ass beating. It's just like an ass beating.
Yeah, and any man is not going to be okay with that. You can't be okay with it. At a certain point, man, you got to pinch his joke or bite him or something, do something. We ask you, man, hey, this is what we ask you to do, all right? Just do your job. As long as you do your job, everything's going to be fine. That's all we ask you to do. Do your job. That's it. So these guys are going to get a good talking to, and they should. And they're going to learn from this. And they're going to get better. But I think sometimes you need something like this to expose or see a blind spot or somewhere where you may not be as, proficient in. This is all right. That's okay, right? We got a couple more weeks to be where we need to be. But we do need to get better. And we're going to hold everybody accountable on this, right? That's how it has to be. Why? Because the Chiefs has the standard. They got a standard. We brought you here for a reason. So,
as far as the earlier question, I would welcome Christian Wilkins. I mean, as long as he can kiss his, bad pass goodbye. And then Simmons, you could always welcome Simmons. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for both of them. They're both good talents. So, but yeah, JD, you got everyone fired up here. Everyone saying Sasha said he's not going to be able to go to sleep tonight. Everyone's saying that the Chiefs need to hire you to hype up the team at halftime. That's what everyone's saying. Chiefs need to bring you on to the staff to hype the dudes up at halftime.
I would love to do it, but I know they got enough guys there that's going to do it. I know those coaches on the staff, they are not going to let them just we're not going to lick your wounds. We're not going to sit here and pat you on the back and say it. We're not going to do that, okay? There's things that needs to be done. We need to take care of it, pure and simple. So, and I know the guys understand that. But if I sit there and I watch, when I sit there and I see Chris Jones, okay, who's jumping down the throat of a Kalafkas and telling him, you're not comfortable yet. I don't want you comfortable. Everybody else is out here doing it. I don't care if you're getting your helmet taken care of, whatever the conversation was, right? But Chris got on it. But if the thing was, it was needed. Because sometimes you need to be checked. And we all need that self-check. We do. And sometimes if I'm not self-checking me, somebody need to check me. Hey man, what's up? What's the deal? Oh man, I'm not having. Hey man, hey, I get it. Hey, but come on. I seen when Sky dropped that ball. Okay, the second one, the hitting. He's all in his head. He is. He's just more pressure than anything. That is a mental thing without a doubt. He came to that huddle, and you know who I seen talk to him? Did y'all see who talked to him? Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan went straight to him and tapped him in his chest. Hey, man, you all right? Come on, let's go. That's what Robert Tonyan did. Guy that's been around the league. He knows. You know why? Robert Tonyan has been hurt. He's been on the sideline. He hadn't played. He knows that sometimes when you count it down, you count it out. Guess what? Sometimes it takes somebody to be behind you in these moments. You see how happy he was when he scored that touchdown, how happy the other guys were. Guys don't want to see a guy like this struggle. Nobody wants to. And it's a shame, man, to see that. I know how that feels. I done seen it. I know how it feels. I done been that guy before. And so what you do is you go to work. You got to do the things that you need to do. But it takes somebody to come to you, right? Not a negative, oh, man, you can't. Tiny came over and touched him. Hey, man, I got you. Let's go. And Tiny, he just getting there. You know what I'm saying? So Tiny didn't turn his back and all the no hoops or hollers, stuff like that. Tiny right there to him. Come on, you got it. That's why you go get it, guys like Tanya. That's exactly what you do. God, that sucker right there, man. I'm telling you.
Tanya.
Come on.
I'm not the only person who wanted him out of the game in the third quarter, right? I was like, get him out of there.
Yeah, he was there at the beginning of the fourth quarter. So what are you guys doing? Put him in a bubble.
Get him out of there, man.
Wrap him up and saran wrap him to keep him away from the field, man. Because he did more than enough after the first quarter, I thought.
Yeah.
So that kind of, let's talk about this, because that's one of the other storylines of this game is Robert Tonyan. You guys don't know about Robert Tonyan's background. Anybody in the chat? Robert Tonyan obviously played for the Packers for a long time. In 2020 or 2021, tied for league lead in receiving touchdowns for tight ends with none other than Travis Kelce, 11 touchdowns that year. Got hurt last year in the OTAs with Minnesota Vikings, hurt his back, and has been out for the whole year. And the Chiefs brought him in on a futures deal back in like March or February. And now we're seeing him. The guy's been tearing it up during training camp. And it's a beautiful thing. It's not just a resurrection of his career, and the storyline's amazing. It's the fact that all throughout every year, you always hear guys who are tearing it up during training camp. Oh, he made one-handed catch this, one-handed catch that. And you never hear about him ever again. He comes, he plays that preseason game. You don't ever see him. He doesn't do anything. You never hear his name. But Robert Tonyan, for 2 weeks in a row, not only we hear all that stuff during training camp, we're actually seeing him thrive and dominate in weeks 1 of preseason and now weeks 2 of preseason. And it's just amazing, man. 31 years old, coming back from an injury and just looking the part, man, looking like the guy he was in yesteryear in Green Bay. What do you guys make of this Robert Tonyan kind of storyline?
Joker looks exceptional. And I told you, when we signed him, I'm like, man, we got Robert Tonyan? And all I wanted him to be, if he's healthy, I'm just like, oh, he's going to be a baller. I seen that. Like I told you, man, I had him when he was up there in Green Bay. He was the guy I was looking for. I was telling people back then, I said, man, Robert Tonyan, this dude right here, he's going to be the new star. And the thing is, man, he catches everything. You see how he plays. He knows what he do, very heady. That route, he had a corner route. You know what he did? He stopped and got open. He said, why run to get covered? Let me just stop right here. And Gardner Minshew found it. That right there is a veteran play. He knows what he's doing. He knows, where to be. That's a guy that you need. He is, without a doubt, I mean, he's a pro's pro. That's what he is. So.
And that hurdle.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm like, where did that come from?
Dude, and he cleared him good, too. It wasn't one of those, wasn't one of those half-ass ones where the guy pushes his leg up. He cleared him pretty good, man. He looked good and looked smooth doing it.
Yeah. He's
impressive.
Back to his old self, man. He's back to his old self. And I think sometimes,
mid-20s.
Yeah, well, I think being hurt like that, Teja, I think he's got a whole different appreciation of the game. I think he does. Yeah. I mean, sure, why not? Why wouldn't I come out here and give him my all? I don't know when my last play is going to be. Heck, I thought my last play was 2 years ago. I thought it was done.
Yeah.
And here he is out now. So, man.
And tight end 3, I have Kelsey, Noah Gray, and then him. I know we have Wiley, and I know there's other guys, but Tonyan is just, I mean, he's gonna, and that's the thing. It's like we play a lot of 3 tight end sets. He's gonna get a lot of playing time this year. That's why I was like, dude, why is he in the game still? Get him out of there. He's clearly made the team. He's clearly a lock at this point. Let's just let it go. Get him to the sideline. So yeah, that storyline. I think too is just like the fact that he took a year off, and a guy who's 31 years old, JD, taking a year off from football. That's not a positive sign as far as you're ever going to get back to playing the game again, and as far as being a rotational piece on an offense, especially the Chiefs, a Super Bowl team. But the fact that he did that and has not only made his ways in training camp, he's doing it on the field, and he's going to have a significant role on this team this year. And I think that's awesome.
I know that very well. I did the same thing. I took off 99. I had to. I had a knee injury that took me out, and so I knew if I played that year, I probably would have been done for the rest of my career. And I knew I had to take that time off. It was a hard time for me, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned about resilience. I learned about just the passion. I got the passion of the game back. That's what I did, Marcus. And you really don't understand it until it's actually taken away from you. And once it was taken away from me, I'm like, man, Lord, if you just give me another chance at this, I would not take another down, another practice, another rep, or any of those things for granted. And I remember Gunn brought me in. Gunther Cunningham is the one that brought me into Kansas City. And we were practicing, and it was me and Troy Drayton, and we both had bad knees. And I was like literally dragging my knee, dragging my leg. And one day after practice, I say, Gunn, I need to talk to you. He said, yeah, JD, what is it? What's going on? I said, man, I'm gonna need a day off. He's like, oh. He said, man, JD, he said, I was afraid you're gonna tell me you wanted to quit, that your knee was hurting you too bad. I said, no. He said, JD, you have as many days off as you want. I remember I came out there and I had a day off and everybody clapped for me. because they seen what I was doing out there. They could see like just the passion, and this guy is just going through it. He's just grinding. He's just grinding. And I was just like, wow. It meant a lot. It meant a lot. And the thing is, people seen the dedication, and that's what I see in Tanya. I see that in him. I know that all too well. I know it all too well. So, man, get me emotional thinking about that, brother.
Yeah, man,
seriously.
It's a beautiful story. I remember when we first talked about it, it was like, okay, I mean, it's kind of a long shot. We got a lot of these young guys, and he's 31. You know, he took a year off football. How much does he have left in the tank? And then he comes back. And he's actually like showing it. I mean, it's like a Disney movie kind of deal, right? Where the old vet comes back after a year off, and like, oh, he's a long shot, and and he's doing what he's doing, and playing first or fourth quarter in week 2 of preseason too, and doing this with Oladuke at quarterback, Zappy at quarterback, all these guys. Minshew, didn't matter what quarterback he's had, he's producing numbers with all these guys. I think that. It's a great storyline. It's one that's gonna be fun to watch all throughout the season. Now that I think he's a lock for the team.
Absolutely. No, I don't doubt that whatsoever. I could even imagine cutting him with like what? I mean, but no. Look, Andy and those guys. I mean, you hear how they talk about him too.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah. They need a guy like that. It's good.
For sure.
Yeah.
For a team that's got as many young guys as it does, it's good to have another elder statesman in the room between Kelsey, him. I want to say Juju, but Juju's still pretty young. But yeah, Juju as well, as far as being the leader in that wide receiver room. So yeah,
But I told you that.
Juju's body, I think, might be older than Tanyan's.
Oh yeah.
Well, his hamstrings definitely are.
Mm-hmm. But that's why I said I think that's an indication of character. When I see a guy like Tanya go up to a guy like Sky Moore who's struggling, to tell him, "Come on,
yeah,
right? This could be your last time. I don't care if you drop every pass, but you can't worry about that. Move to the next play. You got it. You know you're good to play it." And I said, man, look at Robert Tanya talking to him. Because sometimes, man, when you struggle, man, it can feel lonely. I'm telling you, it can feel real lonely. You hear all the whispers and the boos and all of that. People come on here and all Sky Moore this and all. Yeah. But nobody on that team want to see that man struggle. I don't want to see that man struggle. I know what that struggle is. So,
especially 2 years of it.
Yeah, it's in his head, man. It's in his head to the point where you just
2 years.
It's 2 years and injury and all that on top of it. Shoot, second round pick. You know how you was talking about that Teja the other day about Suma knowing all the pressure stuff like that. Well, this is already set in for him.
Oh man, yeah. This is,
yeah.
This is a mound. It's like the Triceratops poop from Jurassic Park mound, dude. It's massive.
Yeah,
there's so much that he's seen it all, man. At this point, like, it's not even about the noise. It's his own head, I think.
It is.
Joe Matias, I think, just is social media noise. I don't think he's even had it built up to the point where he's questioning himself. Sky Moore is, I think, way deeper than just social media bullies at this point. I think he doesn't even need that to feel down. I think it's all in his head now.
It's all in his head. And I don't even think I don't even think it's media and stuff on him. It's just he really needs to be in shape, man. I'm telling you, that joker.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big boy. Okay, he's a big boy, and that joker could get bigger if he wanted to. And that's what I'm saying. You gotta. Hey, man, look, we gonna work on your quickness and all that. Let me have him doing off season. I need to get a guy. Hey, man, let me come over to JD's camp. Okay?
Yeah, man, he's eating that Hawaiian barbecue.
Oh yeah, he's gonna love it. We'll cook for him over here. We'll get him
that
right.
barbecue while Kareem Hunt's eating those chili dogs.
G Pick in the chat said earlier that Kingsley was eating too many Cheetos this off season.
Man,
you can do it. You can get there. comfortable. Like, hey man, you too comfortable. Like you got work to do, and you need to be on your business. Okay, so I know they have
maybe Sky needs to imagine like just Patrick doing a little pooch bunt to him all the time. He's catching him all the time. He caught it clean, didn't he? Caught that thing clean. That punt was a harder catch than both those other catches were.
Yeah.
Maybe it took it just, hey man, what do you got to lose? You know, what you got to lose.
Well, it just goes to show you his thinking is completely different.
Yeah.
When he's catching a punt, it's a completely different mindset. So he's not thinking about it. It's like it's like I hate to say this because it's going to be comical, but it's like the movie Little Giants. Remember Little Giants where the kid can't catch, but they bring him to the grocery store and they start throwing him toilet paper and he's catching it because he's not thinking about catching a football anymore. He sees it differently. I'm just catching toilet paper. It's different. Like it's a ridiculous analogy, but it's similar. He's just not catching a ball isn't catching a ball. It's catching a pass from a quarterback when running a route. That's when he's like, oh, man, I can't do this. Oh, my, this is going to happen again. It's going to happen again. It happened again. But a punt's like, oh, I'm just feeling the punt. Whatever. Who cares?
Well, when I seen him not try to catch the ball with his hands and he kind of jumped, I knew he was just trying to secure it. He was just like, I'm not going to miss this. And he jumped, and I was just like, oh. And that's when I knew he had lost faith in his hands. And that is a key indicator. You know, when a guy starts body catching a lot. But you know what? I've never seen that movie, Little Giants. I've never seen that.
No.
I've never seen that one, and I've never seen what's the one with the baseball and the big dog? What is that?
Sandlot.
Sandlot. I've never seen that one either.
Oh man, good.
I heard that people always say they're good movies, but I just never watched them.
You should. They're great.
They're solid movies. Teja, my other brother, that's not their favorite football movie to quote though. Their favorite one's Unnecessary Roughness. That's their.
No, but you know what? That it really played. It really is very similar to this though. They're like, you know, get the whole catching football thing out of your head. Just like change your way of thinking about it. It's not you're not catching a pass anymore. Just like, you know, it's crazy, but yeah. Because what he did on that play is 100 times harder than catching either of those passes.
Yeah,
you know, it's just crazy.
It's a mental thing. Shoot, I tell you what, Gonzalez, his sophomore year, he had it. We go through it. I see it in a lot of different, positions, and that's what it is. Tony was like, man, I had probably the most drops my sophomore year playing, my second year playing. They was calling him like almost like a bus and stuff. He heard the noise. You know what he did? He went straight to work. And he got obsessive on catching the football. That's what he did. And it wasn't just jug machines. He was catching the ball he had trainers throwing it to him, the equipment guys, he had quarterbacks. I think that's what you had to do, man. Whoever fourth ring, Bailey Zappi, Olanduku, hey, get them jokers out there, throw the ball to you to the point where you just – your hands get there. Shoot, I remember when I was going through my string up there in Philly, I started coming in on Saturdays. And my tight ends coach, and I remember seeing him at a coaches convention, Jim Bowman. I said, Jim, I don't think you realize what you did for me. I said, man, the time when I was struggling for that, you came in and you worked with me. You dedicated that time and all of that. And it was just, hey, man, shoot, you know how to catch football. You've been catching football. Yeah, absolutely. And I just got to the point, man, that my hands it was glue. In practice, I was catching one-handed. I remember I caught a corner route, bam, one-handed, took off running straight to the end zone. And it was you gain confidence. That's what you do. You just keep going over and over again. And it's got to be the same thing for every single position, right? That's when that Matt Nagy was talking about Pat going back to the fundamentals, doing the things right, doing that. We seen that he was getting away from himself. Go back over the things that got you there, the foundation of it. And so we know Pat gonna do it. Pat probably doing that at home with his kids. He probably got Brittany running at him. He's sliding and He's probably doing all those things.
Probably.
The thing is, though, I bet you Sky does fine in practice and camp. I bet you he does fine. It's when he gets into that game situation where he knows he might get the ball and it's coming to him, and he's got the yips pretty much. He's got the yips for a receiver.
Yeah. You keep saying yips. What's yips? I never heard yips.
The yips, it's more common in baseball and like basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a mental, like I guess, like reaction you're having, like that prevents you from just doing like a normal like shot. Like, there was a guy who couldn't shoot, and he would stall his release because he just couldn't do it. Golf, it's huge in golf.
Mental block.
Yeah,
That's what I was saying. Mental block.
Mental block. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he's just got that with catching a ball, which is weird. You don't usually see that with catching a ball because you're just receiving something else. You're not giving it away. With golf, with basketball, you're releasing something, right? That makes it more, common, but you don't see it with someone, catching the ball because he can do it. Obviously, he never had a hands problem.
No,
it's not a hand thing.
Hey, the sucker had it like 100-something catches his senior year. That's why he's the second.
It's crazy. That's why it's so crazy. It's like
and he was doing it in the tundra of Western Michigan. I mean, the weather there was horrible, and he was catching 100 balls in that like weather. So it doesn't make any sense.
The worst possible environment you could possibly catch a football. Right? Cold as all get out, right? But this right, slamming Sammy Joe, I think it might be what's going to happen with him. He shoot. I know the
problem is, though, I was thinking that too, like, the punt return, everyone's saying it's going to save him. But we have better we have better return men on our team. That's the problem. We didn't. I'd say that was actually a really good possibility, but we're pretty good at returns.
Well, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, actually, because I saw a different thing altogether tonight where Royals had that big return tonight. And for me, I'm thinking here, Royals has that big return. It's like, okay, well, if he could be our return guy, that means you don't have to keep Nico on board anymore to be your return man. You can actually have a guy who can be a 2-for-1 thing where he can be a part of your offense and be a return man. And that kind of opens a door for them to be able to bring on Tyquan Thornton or Brownlee, or if they want to keep on Sky. That allows you to do that. For Royals can be that guy. I mean, that return was nice tonight. So that was going to be my question to you guys as far as what do you think does that Royals kind of open a door for a different alternative as far as what we do with the receiver room? Because for a while there, I mean, I think we've talked about before, JD, how we both thought Nico was probably more leaning towards a lock, but now you see Royals can do that. Does that kind of open the door for more possibilities what we do with that receiver room now, with seeing what Royals did at return tonight?
Oh man, I tell you what, Royals having that return shocked me. I was shocked by that, to be honest with you. When I went up there to training camp, they had a number of guys that were returning footballs. Right, they trying to find something. Okay, see what a guy can give. It could possibly. We in limbo with this whole Rashid Rice thing. You don't know what's going to happen. So if Royals going to get more, playing time and you putting him in there, do you want him back there returning? Right? I mean, you got to figure this out. So it's like, hey man, he's going to get a lot of play out here. We don't need for him thinking more things and him getting hurt, and all of a sudden now we're kind of short if somebody gets hurt. So I don't know, but it is a possibility. Sure is.
Tage, thoughts on Royals as a return man and that kind of how that opens up different possibilities for the receiver room?
I totally agree. That's kind of why I was saying it works against like Sky, because everyone's big argument for Sky now is that he can return a punt. So yeah, that might be his door opening, but I don't think it is, because I think we have guys who can play receiver, who can Royals who can play receiver and do that. So I think if you're going to have Royals be your punt returner and receiver, then you're going to want to keep more of like a pure receiver, right? Like I would think in that situation, Thornton might be the guy who's in.
Well, do both of you guys think Thornton's already a lock? I mean, what do you guys stand on Thornton being a lock on the roster? I mean, it's just 2 games in a row where he has been with the ones offense. I know it's not our entire actual ones offense, but He's been there. He's been a guy who's been in the ones offense at practice in training camp. I mean, I already think I've already kind of penciled him in as the other receiver there. It's just a matter of do we keep another guy on top of that?
I think, oh man, he's been pretty consistent as far as name wise in camp. He caught a great one today. He's back behind him on the RPO. He's going to give you, he's definitely going to give you something for sure. So let's say you keep Thornton, right? He's that guy. And then you have to go into, how many tight ends you're going to keep, how many running backs you're going to keep. It's just a numbers game. It really is. And I truly believe, let me say this, I truly believe we keep 4 running backs because Rashard Smith was that guy that can do it all. We handed one off to him today. They said a little bit, and Joker got up through.
Well,
you would never believe he only played running back for a year.
Yeah.
That one where he was, I think it was with, was it Minshew? I think it was Minshew still, or it was the first half of the game. It was where he kind of does a jet motion and did kind of a little old Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, a little pooch pass.
Yeah, that's all it was. That was it.
Immediately, I thought of how you said a couple weeks ago. Like, I think we're going to utilize him as a McCole Hardman kind of role, and that's immediately what I thought of. I'm like,
absolutely, that's his forte. That's what he can do. I tell you what, but that sucker better get violent over on the sideline. He ran that one ball on the sideline and kind of tiptoed out there, man, and he will get blasted. He will get blasted. He will find out real quick, hey, you better be ready. Buyer beware. When you come over this sideline, you better bring something with you. Okay. Hey, don't sit there and just run out of bounds. Sometimes we might need it 1 or 2 yards. Okay. You're a young guy. We got bodies. So you need to go and get that 1 or 2. You might slip one, right? Somebody might try to tap. You might slip up out of it and spin and take off. So this ain't college, man. You ain't with the horn dogs, the horn frogs, or whatever. You ain't with them jokers no more. Okay, you ain't with them jokers.
Horn dogs.
He's a Mustang, right?
Yeah,
He's a Mustang.
Mustang. Yeah, I'll say yeah.
At TCU, SMU, yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. You come down there, yeah.
Mustangs.
Yeah, whatever it is, but you're not one of them anymore. Okay, you're a chief. Act like it. All right.
Horn dogs. That's like a fake football movie team.
Yeah, the horn dogs.
Horn dogs.
So with the list that we have right now, I'm seeing Kyle Harrison's list on the screen right here. So Rice, Worthy, Juju, Royals, Hollywood. That's 5 right there. Tyquan Thornton 6. Now that's where you have what we've talked about. If we do keep 7, and you got to, like the JD said, you got to factor in Rashee Rice down the road. You may not get suspended the first 4 games, but after those 4 games, that's you have to factor in adding that other guy in there. So that's 6. And you have Brownlee, you have Badger, who we didn't see Badger at all today, which was kind of interesting. Brownlee, Badger, Sky, and Nico. I mean, those are the other 4 guys you talk about to be the 7th receiver.
You know what? I haven't really seen Badger, though, for real like that, though. To be honest with you, I know you bring his name up, but I haven't really the guys that's leading to me is Thornton and Brownlee. Badger's, I mean, his name is not really in the mix as one of those guys, at least for me. I don't people I'm talking about, and I'm hearing this. Badger's is right. So if you don't have Rice, right? Worthy, Brown, Juju, Royals, right? That's your 4, okay? And then you had to go probably Thornton, that's 5. And then you're talking about, maybe Nico, 6. And you could probably do a 7 guy. It just depends. Depends on what you're gonna bring. But if you don't, you do 6 wide receivers, Rashard Smith will be your other guy. That would be the figure. Yeah. And I still think that you bring in Elijah Mitchell. I think Elijah Mitchell has things to him. He can give you something. He can definitely give you something. So,
Teja, any take on the receiver room that we just talked about, or no? No takes.
2 questions, what, 6 or 7, and then who the 7, and that pretty much what we're deciding on.
Yeah, I mean, is it
It's
6
just
or
tough
7?
because I mean, tight ends is Wiley out, right? Steele played ahead of Mitchell today by a good quarter and a half.
Yeah, but see, like I said, but
that means nothing to you, though. Really?
No, it doesn't.
No,
not really. I mean, but I told you, I think that Steele makes it anyway. I think Steele is going to be there, even if he didn't get a lot of. I think he's like a special teams guys that you almost could have. He's like your security blanket if you needed him in a tight spot. So just seeing that he can still run the football.
That's 5 running backs, though.
4 running backs and a fullback.
Okay, if you're going to count Steele as a fullback.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah.
They ain't got him as a running back. They got him as a fullback.
Yeah.
So had to go move back in the day when they had the Anthony Sherman and all those guys, fullback type of dudes.
He had 7 carries, kind of a lot for a fullback. No,
I hear you, but you want to keep him sharp, right? You want to be able to keep him fresh, and that's what he gives you a little bit more than Anthony Sherman is just as doing that. But he may have to be the guy to come in and do the pass blocking. He may have to be that guy. You know what I mean? So if you're just bringing him in for pass blocking, they're gonna know that. Well, they can hand the ball off to him too. So he still got to be a threat. He has to be. So I don't know, man. Like I said, it's going to go to the numbers game. Shoot.
Tough. It's going to be really interesting to see between the running backs, receivers, and tight end. That's going to be a really interesting one with those 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So.
But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us on this post-game show on this late night. We're at 2:20 a.m. on East Coast, so 1:20 for most of our people in Central Time. And, of course, Teja's was at 10 o'clock over there for you.
Got to catch a movie over here. It's so early.
But we hope you guys enjoyed the episode. So next week was obviously JD and I'll be back on Monday. We have our Wednesday show. And then next week is kind of like a test run of what it'll be like for the week 1 of the football season. So next week, the Chiefs will be playing the Bears in the preseason finale at 8:20 Eastern Standard Time. So we will be pretty much acting like that's our preview for our week 1 opener. It's like kind of like our week 1 preseason game for our show here, our post game show, because it'll act pretty much like how our week 1 game will go in Brazil. But we hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we will see you guys on Monday. JD, take us away, brother.
Hey man, shoot, I think it's a good conversation. A lot of questions. I think we got a few answers tonight, but maybe even more questions than we got answers, to be honest with you. And that's okay. I really do. You know, this being the second game of the season, this is all about. It is. And you're looking for guys to develop. We still got a couple of weeks for guys to kind of get etched into where they need to be. And that's everybody. That's everybody. I said the ones that we know is ready to play, 15, 87, 95, 32. We know those guys are ready. Okay. And so the young guys got to get developed, and maybe some of the guys that you have to say they got to make progress. We'll see that probably in the next game. And that's going to be fine. So with that being said, man, guys, appreciate it, man. I'm glad everybody came out tonight. We had some good views on here. Hope we was able to answer some questions, man, talk a few things, about some good football. But, with that being said, man, hey, look, y'all have a good night. I had a little bit of this. It's a Kirkland brand. I got this today. And I told you I don't sip on anything, but this is a 1792, bonded. So
all right.
Had a little sip. Yeah. And you know what? I was looking at that bottle tonight. I'm going to crack that sucker open. You drank about a long time, man. So
you saw a run defense, and you were like, "Oh man, all right, I'm cracking it."
Yeah, I was just like, "Oh man!" I kept going back over. And I'm just like, "Dad, God!"
You hit that bottle like the Seahawks hit the holes, man.
Not quite.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, not even.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna finish this one. So I need to taste it a little bit. bit. So, but with that being said, man, everybody, thank y'all for coming out. We will see y'all on Monday. Appreciate y'all coming and staying with us tonight, man. Shoot, late night or long one, but good show.
Good amount of people in here for a 2 a.m. show. This is we feel the love, everybody. Oh yeah, let me go run through. Slam and Sammy, appreciate the contribution for your question earlier.
Appreciate
Charles Harmon, that's a new name. We haven't heard that before. Love you, Chief Concerns. We do have some depth issues at depth, but we have won Super Bowls with that same issue. Appreciate the contribution, buddy.
Thanks, Charles. Thank you, sir.
And Jeremy Gallagher, another new name I haven't seen before. We missed Warden on that line. Yeah, Warden got the bag, man. Warden got the bag.
Yeah. And we're hoping, Jeremy, that 55 turns into what just went away to Carolina. So
That's right.
Yeah. So appreciate the contributions there, fellas.
Sir. So look, there's a lot of people in here. Mike Brennan, Gary Holland, Kyle Harrison, Sasha, Linda Hunter, Justin Blackwood, Vegas T. Keenan, is 3131. Look, there's a lot of guys and gals in here. I'm just going to tell you all, we love you all. Y'all take care. God bless. Love each other the way we're supposed to love each other. We will see you on Monday. Tej, Marcus, love you, brothers. Okay?
Love you too, buddy.
Love you guys.
Y'all have a good night.
Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you guys Monday.
All right.
Later on.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.